Trackside here with Chris Voak speaking about his drives Monday and Tuesday. Straight into it, race 3, number 10, American Royalty for Gary Elliott. How do you see this one going from the backline draw?
Look, I think the backline draw is pretty handy. There's going to be a lot of pace on early, I think. So hopefully we can get a soft trip with her. She ran home well at Northam in her last start. So, if she can do the same again, she'll be thereabouts.
Sir Willie's boys drawn 1 over 21.30. He had a pretty tough run last starts. Strange old horse, but he's got a bit of gate speed.
Yeah, it was. He was. You wouldn't have wanted to be on him at the 500, and then 50 from the line, he just ate it up and he ran third. So it was a sort of it was a good run considering the mile rate and how quick he burned out the gate. Probably, I guess, if Assassinator wasn't in the race, you'd call him, a solid chance, solid each way hope, I guess, without really having looked too much at the field. But I dare say he'd be leading because it's at GP, isn't it? Yeah. So he'll be leading for most of the way, and if he can duplicate last run, he should be thereabouts.
Bright Smiling Star, third up in the state. First 2 runs have been so-so. What have you made of those leading into this?
His first one was okay. Never really saw much daylight. His second one was a fast mile rate, but I think everyone involved in the horse walked away a little disappointed after the run. I mean, it was a fast mile rate, like I said, but I think there was sort of high hopes for the horse moving forward, but obviously still got those hopes moving forward. So Ross obviously had to go back to the drawing board, and I'll trust him to get it right.
Local Rogue, race 7, barrier 3, bit of speed to your inside. M Opulent wrongly accused. Makes it a bit tougher to try and find the pegs.
Yeah, I think obviously in that field he was hoping to draw the 1 or something like that, and look, his run wasn't that bad last start. First up, I could make a case for him anyway, even though he finished 6th or 7th. This is a strong field. If he could have been able to draw 1 or something like that and lob handy, he'd follow the speed, but he'll improve off this run anyway.
On Tuesday at Northam, straight to the bar. First up for Kat Warwick. She does a good job with the babies. Even sort of race. How does this one go?
Look, I haven't sat behind it. I'm only just going off trial form like probably everyone else is, and without having spoken to Kat about it. But she usually presents them. Well, look, they pace well, they're good mannered, and they do everything right. So you're halfway home when they do that. So you expect something out of it anyway in the small field.
Showtime Prince, who's been out of the placings for a fair while. He's drawn middle of the line in even sort of race.
Yeah, the barrier draw's not brilliant for him, but I drove him once before and he ran a good second here in a pathway. So if there's any hot speed on it, he can run home. Like he surprised me that night that he ran second. So if he can, again duplicate that run, we'll have our fingers crossed.
John Paul Jones drawn 9 to get us off run off the pace over the mile. It's looks like there'll be a bit of speed. Scott Bay and Tempest Cullen drawn a little bit wide, but they're likely to press forward. Could put it on for you.
Yeah, look, I think a couple of starts back he gave poor old Mark Reed a horrid drive for whatever reason. I haven't really spoke to Debbie about the horse. I haven't driven it, but it's got a cosy little draw, like you said, with the gate speed. So hopefully he'll be running on strong at the finish.
Lenny's in heaven. First up for Debbie Padberg. Hasn't been going too bad in much stronger company. Comes down in grade here and back to the stand.
Yeah, is he drawn inside the back line, is it? Inside 10, yeah. So it's not. Look, he hasn't. I drove him when Michael George was training, and look, he was racing real well, and with no luck at all. So I dare say, even with the stable change, if he can continue his form up that he had before, and as long as we get a safe beginning, which he usually steps safely, it is a race he could figure in.
Sister Madonna, first up for Debbie Padberg. Its form last campaign wasn't too bad. It's a horse that looks to have some ability. It's a weakish sort of race. Do you know too much about this horse?
No, look, I really don't. I'll probably all the horses of Debbie's tonight. I'll speak to her after the meeting tonight. But it raced in some sales races and stuff like that. So it's got some decent young horse form anyway, or youngster form. So it doesn't look overly strong. I guess whoever gets the best trip in that race wins.
And finally, Perfect Alibi, who I don't mind as a horse for Terry Atkins, has drawn 3 in a weaker sort of event, the R-Road R1. If he repeats his Sales Classic run, you think he'd go pretty close?
Yeah, look, absolutely. I sort of haven't been able to stick to him in the last couple of runs. I've had some other commitments in races he's been in, and his runs haven't been that bad. He's been beaten 20, 25 metres, but he's, a horse galloped in front of him last start. He was 3 wide. Unfortunately, at Pinjarra, just the way it worked out the last 1,000, they ran a fast mile rate. So, look, if he could lead, I reckon he'd run a really, really good race. But if not, he can sit and sprint really good, like you said in that sales race. He really motored home. So, just got to land handy with him, and I'm expecting him to run a real forward race anyway.
Thank you very much for your time. Best of luck Monday, Tuesday.
No worries. Thanks, Matthew.